Good evening. Happy Monday. It is September 30th. How the heck did we get here? Tomorrow's October 1st. This year is just flying by. So welcome to your live weekly dose of real estate reality. My name is Jackie Baker, and I'm a real estate agent here in Northern New Jersey. We talk about all things real estate. So this week, there's all the talk about the mortgage rates. The Fed cut the federal interest rate back on September 18th. Great news. Everyone was excited. And now the rates seem to be coming back up again. What gives? And is this really going to solve our housing problem when the mortgage rates come back down? So we're gonna talk about a couple of articles. I want to bring on a very special guest, hailing all the way from Maryland, and he's been on before, and I'm so happy to have him back, Mr. Robert Garcia. How are you?
Hey, 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 how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for coming back. I'm so excited.
Oh,
So
I'm glad
tell
that I
me.
made it back to the list.
Yeah, yeah. Of course you did. Of course. I would never. Oh my God. Yeah, for sure. So, all right. What the heck? These
Well,
interest rates, and they're down, they're up. We're like, I don't know what to make of this. But what are you seeing? I know we just talked like 2 seconds before we hopped on.
I
You say the
know.
lender sent you an email, right? The rates are going back up again.
Yeah,
And
it is. I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things that you've been waiting and waiting for this cut to take place, and the
yep,
cut comes. It's an aggressive one, but investors actually took it the wrong way, and rather than reducing the rates went up by 3/8 of a percent in some cases, in
I
some
know.
areas.
I
People were
know.
devastated because before the rate cut, they got quoted this X rate, and now the week later, there is just higher. It's just really unpredictable. Now, here's the thing: you and I know this, that the rates not necessarily the bonds also play a very very interesting key factor in this whole thing. The 10-year bonds, it's
Yep.
very important because that's how investors move the money from one place to another. So but yeah, they what they did is I wasn't expecting it for sure.
I think it has to do with the economy because in the research I've been doing, it's that the banks, the reason the rates were coming down prior to the Fed cutting the federal rate is that they were gaining a little more confidence in the economy. Things were looking on the up and up, and I think the economy. And you're right, the 10-year Treasury yield, that plays an important part in determining the mortgage interest rate. So I think we're still a little bit of a wonky situation right now with the economy and all the things. We got an election coming up, and people are kind of freaking out about that. So I don't know. It's here. It was looking good. People are all excited, right? We're gonna get back into it, and people are gonna come off the sidelines now that the rates are back down. But let's talk about the Redfin news. So I want to talk about now. Before, this is from September 26th. So just the other day, we learned about the mortgage rates are coming back up. But I want to talk about what's going to happen, what can happen. This is according to Redfin and according to all of us, like what happens when the rates are going to come back down. Now, it says right here, buyers are coming back. Mortgage demand shoots up. Home tours hit highest level since May. So it says here, news about last week's interest rate cut is starting to bring home buyers back. Home buyers locked in nearly 70% more mortgages than they did a month earlier on September 23rd, 5 days after the Fed cut interest rates for the first time in 4 years. That's according to the mortgage rate lock data from Optimal Blue. It's worth noting that the surge in mortgage rate locks may overstate the increase in mortgage demand, as it could be exacerbated by buyers who had already decided to purchase a home, but were back waiting to lock in a rate until after the Fed meeting. Still, there are other indicators that demand is improving. Mortgage purchase applications are up more than 10% month over month. Additionally, Redfin's Home Buyer Demand Index, a measure of tours and other buying services, shot up to its highest level since May during the week ending September 22nd. It's also notable that the demand index rose 1% annually, the first increase in nearly a year. Pending U.S. home sales fell 3.1% during the first 4 weeks ending September 22nd, but that's the smallest decline in 5 weeks. News of the Fed's historic interest rate cut is the main factor bringing home buyers off the sidelines. Mortgage rates and housing costs have been declining meaningfully for several weeks before the rate cut, but before this week, it hadn't led to any uptick in demand. Many house hunters have been waiting for the rate cut to actually happen to get serious about buying, and now they have, even though mortgage rates didn't fall further after the rate cut than they had the week leading up to it. So they do mention that here, that it didn't fall that much further. But I wonder, I'm assuming that it's like I just said, I think the economy, I think the banks are still, investors and whatnot, they're all still kind of nervous about the whole economy situation. So they're not quick to be reducing the rates right now. Um,
True. True.
yeah. Um, I don't know. I mean, so I don't know about what you're seeing in your market down there, but up here, it's going back to pandemonium again. I just
Really?
Yeah. Yes. Looked on MLS today. I was looking my clients are about to close on a house next week, and I just happened to look in the town that they're buying. I just wanted to see what the activity was. Like 5 houses went under contract within, like, a few days. I'm like, "Here we go again." I can't
Hmm.
believe it. So, the inventory is still an issue. I think that's gonna be an issue for years to come. That's how I feel. I don't think this is gonna get solved. This housing shortage is gonna get solved, like, overnight. I mean, it's not gonna get solved overnight, but, I mean, how are you feeling with the market down by you?
So here in the Washington D.C. metro area, because I'm right outside of Washington D.C. where I am,
Yep.
our inventory has been growing a lot, and the rate of
Oh,
absorption is kind of like going down. So on average, we're bringing about. I know this is homes, townhomes, condominiums, everything, right?
yeah.
Everything that it can be residential real estate. We're bringing about 200 units, homes for sale, and only like
Okay.
30 to 50 of them are going under contract within that first week. So a lot of the inventory that we have has an average of about 21 to 25 days on the market right now.
Okay.
Granted, these people came at the end of August, right? So they came probably the worst time of the year to put the house on the market,
Yep.
and then they have to go through the Labor Day holiday. But we're seeing an increase. My take right now, and based on what I'm talking to my lenders, is buyers are just waiting for another cut from the Federal Reserve in order for them to make it happen, because then they're going to feel more comfortable. So I'm working right now with a couple. They're buying a house, and they were telling me that their 500,000, believe it or not, in this area, 500,000 only buys you a townhouse, not a single family.
Oh, yeah, I believe that. Yeah.
So they were telling me they just got a quoted like 6.5% interest rate. They put them down 5%. Their mortgage payment is going to be like $3,900.
Wow.
Ouch.
Oh my god, ouch. Ouch is right. Wow. That's
So
crazy.
so you think about that in terms of, and these are a couple that both make very good money, don't have any student debt or loans, but
Mm.
that's ouchy though for a lot of buyers. So
That's a
not
lot
yeah.
of it's a lot.
It's a
Yeah,
lot
for
it's a lot of money, and she's
yeah.
expecting to, so it's a baby being delivered in December. So,
Oh,
I mean, it's a
wow.
lot of things. So, I think where we are right now, we're going to see a little bit of a slowdown, and especially as we approach the elections,
Yep.
election week, it definitely is gonna come to a big slowdown, but homes will continue to come. I think, here's my theory, and people may agree or disagree with me, but here's what I think two ways our inventory may come up down the road, and it has to do in different locations. Number one is there is an article that it talks about current homeowners that bought prior to COVID are
Mm.
not happy. It's like 80 something percent of the current homeowners are not happy with their home they have prior to COVID. They're happy with the interest rate, but they're not happy with the house itself. So I think
Interesting.
these people, these sellers that have been sitting on the fence, especially the downsizers, are probably going to put their homes on the market because now interest rates are not in the sevens or eights, are going to be in the low six, maybe high fives, and they have
Uh-huh.
interest rates in the threes and fours. So that could be a little bit of inventory that you may see coming on the market. The other one, it's Airbnb. As Airbnb rules and regulations are getting stricter and more difficult, a lot of
Mm.
these people that thought that maybe we just buy a second home and we'll make some money, I think they're now realizing that they're going to be losing money. And if the market that's a down, they want to just release that. So that could be the potential saving grace of inventory for us into 2025.
That you make a good point about the Airbnb, because my own personal experience, we bought a second property during the pandemic, like in 2022. Well, just after the pandemic, but rates were low. Like we bought ourselves a nice little condo near the beach. I'm like, oh, we'll Airbnb it or Verbo, whatever. And
Mhm,
last summer, I couldn't rent that thing to save my life. Why?
mhm,
Because the market was saturated in this one particular beach town where
mhm,
everybody just did what we did. Like,
mhm.
"Oh,
Exactly.
let's go buy an investment property." Yeah. But, it was horrible. And when I spoke with local real estate agents there, I'm like, is my theory right? Is it just oversaturated with beach rentals? They're like, absolutely. They're like, everybody bought here from 2020 to, it's up till like last year. And yeah, and they just are jumping in on the summer rental market. Fortunately, this summer I was more successful. I got a lot of more. I rented it privately,
Okay.
but I was able to get more, way more than I did last year. It was amazing. I'm like, "Oh my god," but I can see that happening because, yeah, these rules that these towns and cities they're putting on these Airbnbs. I mean, who knows what's gonna happen to Airbnb as a company now? Eh, I don't
Where
know.
their
It's
their
getting a
fees
little
their
sketchy.
fees are going up, their cleaning fees and all that stuff, and now they have to disclose them. I think there are new rules and regulations. They have to disclose all their fees moving forward, how much is for
Mm,
clean, how much is for the
yeah.
trash, how much is for all these things. So which is going to make it, but I think that the biggest push they're having, it's the neighbors, the people that actually reside in those places where they're buying these investment properties, and they seen all these people taking advantage of vacation time coming over and just trashing their neighborhoods. And they're like, wait, we don't want this. There was a case here in Potomac, Maryland, not far from where I am, that they rented this is probably a $3.5 to $4 million house. They rented these houses on a weekend, and the person that was hosting the party said invited a lot of people through social media, to the extent they had people in shuttles showing up because they could not park for like 10 blocks on the road. They could not park vehicles parking
Whoa.
on the grass and everything. I mean, they destroyed the pool completely, like destroyed the
Oh
cold.
my
Doing the pool
god.
is going to cost over $200,000.
Ay.
So you imagine,
Oh,
you as a neighbor, right? You
yeah.
have the next house to you is an Airbnb, and something like this is happening. I'm sure Jackie Baker is going to be out there next day campaigning
Absolutely.
for that to go away, right?
Absolutely. I mean, come on. Wouldn't
Yeah,
you? Oh
yeah,
my
I
god.
would, of
That's
course. Yeah.
insane. That's insane. Oh, all right. We got a lot of comments already here, Robert. Look at
Okay.
this. So, Emilio, hello. Home buyers might jump back in, but prices are still at record high prices. Yes, they are. And I think the misconception is people think, oh, I'm just gonna wait for the prices to come down. They're gonna come back down. They're not. When the rates come down, you're creating more demand and you're gonna
Mm-mm.
have bidding wars again. So, yeah, what else we got? Edmundo, thank you for being here. The economy's doing great. No doom and gloom in sight. Yeah, a little sarcasm there, maybe. Sydney, hi Sydney. Local credit union, Finger Lakes area, New York. 30-year is 5.807 APR, 0 points, 15 years, 5.468, 0 points. Oh, all right. That's hopeful.
How
I
many
like to see
points?
that.
0 points? Yeah, she
0
says 0
points.
points.
It says
Yeah.
0 points. Isn't that
Okay.
amazing?
It is good.
Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Deacon, how many homes lost in the Southeast over the last week? Um, are you asking homes lost? Are you referring to the
Oh,
hurricane
the
situation?
hurricane.
Because
Yeah, flooded,
oh my god, yeah,
flooded
and I
homes.
wanna say, I should have started off with this. I really, like, I my heart goes out to these families that were affected in Florida, but not only in Florida, Tennessee and Western North Carolina. Have you seen footage on that, Robert, of the
Mhm.
flooding that took place.
Mhm.
Oh dear God. I'm just my heart goes out to these people, and I pray
Bridges
that
just getting wiped out completely.
it's ridiculous. I just hope these people and there's, like, a lot of people still missing.
Mhm.
I don't like the sounds of that, but, um, Emilio says, "The market in South Jersey is still terrible. Inventory low, prices continue to climb." Yeah, they do. Yep. South Jersey is still my clients are buying a place down near the Jersey Shore, and they were up against 12 offers. So there you go. It's still
Whoa.
crazy. Yep. Yep. Hey, Clark. Good to see you. Our inventory, George, is starting to grow too. Good. Good. Good thing, because I may get more referrals for you there, Clark. It seems like everybody wants to move to Georgia lately. Keep calling Clark up. Market is doing just fine. There's no housing market crash. Experts are saying so. Yeah, no, there is no housing market crash, and I don't think there will be a crash, right, Robert? I mean,
No.
you see a lot of these guys on this platform that are,
The
crying
Crash
from the
Bros.
rooftops, the crash bros, saying it's going to crash.
No, it's not.
No, it's
There is yeah, I think it's like a 1.4 trillion dollars of equity in United States for those that are current homeowners. So if you bought before 2020, you're fine. If even if you bought after 2020, first 2020, 2021, maybe 22, you'd be okay. People in 2023, 2024, if the market does a little bit of a correction, which I don't think should be more than 3-5%, you still be fine. So no, there is no market crash in the horizon.
There we go. Yep. Yep. Okay, are we still here? You still here,
Yep.
Robert?
Yep.
I'm like
I'm here.
having such issues tonight.
No, I'm here.
Hold
I'm here.
on.
I can hear you. I
There
don't
you
see your
go.
image well,
Okay.
but
All
I
right.
can hear
Sorry,
you.
sorry. Yeah, no, I'm here.
Okay. I can hear you, but I don't see your
Clark
image
says the
moving.
notes are too high for average buyers and increased taxes to have people sitting out. Yeah. You know, now hold on a minute. Here we go. I'm back. You there?
Okay, I'm here. Yep.
Oh my God. What the heck? Okay. Dom, thank you for your patience. Dom Pruso, native New Yorker who lives in a co-op within the Bronx, looking for a bigger place, ideally a tutor. My question involves VA loans. Sellers seem very unwilling to accept. Any thoughts? Okay, here's the problem with that, Dom. A lot of agents are not really educated on VA loans, and it drives me crazy because I've helped clients with VA loans, and whenever we presented an offer, they get all freaked out because it's a government-backed loan, like an FHA, where they have to do inspections and make sure everything is on the up and up and nothing like needs to be corrected, there's no safety issues. And that's the inspection that in order for them to get the loan, right? And then with the VA loans, you don't have to put money down. You can finance it 100%, and that scares sellers because they're not putting any money down and there's no skin in the game. Well, they don't have to.
Mhm.
They have the money, but they're choosing to use their benefit to finance the entire thing. So, Robert, do you get this a lot?
No, we and not in the last 4 or 5 years. We haven't seen a lot of VA loans. They actually
Okay.
being pushed out, and those that are applying for VA loans actually came with significant down payment in order to be competitive, because otherwise they'll be out of the market. But
True.
I am
Yeah.
not seeing them right now. I think the only time where I've seen them, because VA loans are assumables, meaning that somebody else, if it qualifies, can take
Yeah.
over. So anybody that had a good VA loan with an interest rate between the 2.5 and 3.5%, in this environment of high interest rates, took advantage of assuming. But that means you have to qualify for VA to begin with, and then qualify to assume that loan. It's not an easy process, but it can be
No,
done.
it can be done. Yeah, it could take like months to get to
Yep.
that process, but if you get it, then you can get a really good deal. Thomas John, hey Thomas, thanks for being here. The snowball has just started running down the hill, and by this time next year to be a boulder. Be ready. I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. Hi, David Matney. How are you? My buddy David. Hi, Therese. There may be cool downs, but not crashing. Correct. Yeah, we're
Yep.
going to see price corrections for sure, but nothing like drastic. Nothing
Mhm.
like no 20%, 30% reductions. No, definitely not. Um, Arun, good evening. I got my single family in 2022 in Montgomery, New Jersey at 3.65. Do you expect the rates to dip at COVID levels? No. Every expert I've talked to or, mortgage people, like, don't expect to see those rates again. That was an anomaly. So if you got 3.65, don't move.
Yep. Keep it.
Don't go anywhere. Stay there. Odinga, I hope I'm saying your name right. Thanks for being here. Is it a good idea to refinance from 6.75 to 6.125 for 30-year mortgage? I purchased my condo 6 months ago. So I'm not a mortgage expert. What I would do is I would call your lender and see how that would work. But it was my understanding, in order for it to be worth it to refinance, right? You should be like a full like percentage point. So like she had 6.75, it should be 5. If it goes to 5.75, then it would be worth it. Right, Robert? I mean, is
Yeah.
that the rule of
Yeah,
thumb?
you need
Yeah.
about 1 full percent, and honestly though, after you pay all your closing costs, because 'cause you're gonna be, you have to, like, I don't know in your area, but at least in Maryland, you have to pay transfer and recordation taxes, which is about 1.3% of the sale of the house.
Right.
It won't make any difference because you're gonna increase your debt by probably $10,000-15,000 depending on the price of the place.
Yep.
In this case, when you just bought it 6 months ago, again, I'm not a mortgage person, but I'm just this is based on what my mortgage guy tells me. It should be a difference of at least 1.5% for this to make sense for you
Mhm.
to do it. Otherwise, what it will go down is maybe $60, $80, and I don't know if it would really will make any sense. And in the environment, as the interest rates are going to continue to go down, you might want to just wait for it for a little bit more.
Yeah, I would wait it out. Yeah, it's only been 6 months. Hi, Bob, Karen. How are you? Yeah, I'm down in Barnegat. Prices up, low inventory near me in LBI. Average house 1.5 to 2 million, low inventory. As stock
Whoa.
market went down 20 to 30%, houses may come down. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Unless yeah, I always have this little disclaimer, unless there's a catastrophic economic disaster, then we'll see prices crash 20, 30%. But yeah, Jersey Shore, yep. 1.5 to $2 million for a beach house.
Wow.
Unbelievable. Yep. Yep. Uh Going to help the victims of a hurricane, let them stay at my second house in Jersey Shore. Possibly. Thanks, Emilio, for that suggestion. Agent said the market wouldn't crash as promised as prices plummeted last time. There will be a correction in many markets. New York, New Jersey are a completely different scenario. Yeah, they are. New Jersey is still, I don't think that we'll ever see prices come down. I'm losing hope. I hate to say that. What else we got? Hi, Natasha. Thanks for being here. Recently moved into the southern tiers area of New York, and I've seen prices drop in this area by about 15%. So I don't see it heating up even with interest rate drops. All right. Well, that's good. That's good to know. All right. Okay, Dom. Instead of using the zero down, I would be putting money down, but am I better off putting the money down or offering a higher price and using those funds to offset the potential under appraisal? That you know what though, VA loans, I don't think you're not allowed to waive the appraisal. Isn't
No.
that right, Robert? You can't
Yep.
do that.
Nope.
Yeah,
You cannot.
you can't. So yeah, don't even worry about that because you can't do that. You have to.
You have,
Yep.
yeah, you can have a gap. You can come up with more cash if it doesn't appraise in order for you to buy it, but you cannot completely waive it as you can
Right.
do in conventional or other ones.
Yes. Thank you. Sellers are still asking outrageous prices. So a 3-bed, 1.5 bath, 1920s built house in Sacramento in a not so good area listed at 499. Who can afford this house? Well, look, I think what we're going to see for a while, I think the sellers are going to try and capitalize and try to get as much as they can. But if you got to have a good, they better have a good real estate agent that's really following the market. So,
Mhm.
if the prices aren't selling for if the houses aren't selling for 499, they better get real on that price. So, yeah. Um, who is moving to New Jersey? New Yorkers still. A lot of people from the city are still moving here. And there's also a lot of, I would say, the millennials, a lot of millennials who live or renting in Hoboken, Jersey City. They're now all looking to buy as well. I would say a lot of my clients past few years were millennials who are renting in the Hoboken, Jersey City area. So that's who's moving here. That's who's buying houses. And because of the proximity to New York, that's why it's so attractive. None of your business. I'm a realtor in North Carolina and I never sold a home to a native Carolina in 5 years. Yeah, I'll bet. I'll bet. And I'm sure it's still happening too. I'm sure you're still getting a huge contingency moving down there. Justin, how do brokers handle sellers who ask outrageous prices? Is there a specific method? Um, well, look, when I go in and if somebody calls me in to list their home, if they have a price in mind and it's not matching with the market, I'm gonna show them the data, show them the numbers, like, this is where I think your home should be priced. But if they're going by a house that sold, say 6 months ago, that sold for a lot more, but today, the market today does not command that price, I will insist that this is what you should be selling it at, and if they wanna list with me, then, if they don't like it, then they'll go find somebody else who will list at that price. I mean, Robert, do you get this a bit, like, lately, where
Y-
sellers are still trying to go for the
Yeah.
higher price?
Yeah, and unfortunately, a lot of the real estate agents in the area that got licensed in the last 4 years haven't experienced a slowdown in the market. So they keep pricing homes as an April, May 2024, when in fact they should be priced differently. So my take is some of these homes will be on the market for 3, 4, 5 weeks. After that, they may see one price adjustment. If Thanksgiving is here and they have not sold, they're going to pull it off the market, fire their agent, and try maybe next spring when they think they can achieve that price. I think that's
Yep.
what's going to happen.
Yep, you are absolutely right. Bob, so what's the solution? Rent? Well, you know what? Right now, I mean, it all depends. Listen, if you're asking like what should people do? Should they not buy? Should they rent? Whatever. It all depends on their situation, right? If they're ready financially, their life situation's allowing them to say, okay, I need a bigger space. Let's go try to buy a house. And yeah, they can absolutely buy at this point. I'm not trying to discourage anybody from not buying or encouraging anybody to buy. I had people call me this. I swear to God, Robert, this past week, I must have had 3 people call me just in the past week asking me this very question. Should I
Hmm.
wait to buy?
Yep.
And I'm like, I can't tell you that. I
Yep. It's like
cannot tell you
case by
that.
case.
It's right. I don't know. No one knows what the market's going to do. If you're in a good position and you have all your ducks in a row, then now's the time. The time is right is now for you. So it all comes down to your personal situation. So,
Yep, yep.
yep,
If you're, if you have a growing family, you have kids coming, yeah, maybe it makes sense for you to buy. I always tell people, if you see yourself in living in that house for the next 7 to 10 years, fine. Maybe
yeah,
it's not a bad idea. But if you don't see yourself, your job stability is not good, you just may want to look for another job in a different part of the country. Don't buy, just rent. And rent
yeah,
actually have gone down. I don't do rentals personally, but I know I track them and I know their prices have come
yeah.
down a
Rent's
little bit.
coming down. Yep,
Mhm.
I'm noticing that too. Definitely. Uh, Visanth. I'm sorry, I'm bad at pronouncing names, but thank you for being here. Any chance for DFW market correction? I don't know, honestly. I have to check in with my DFW friends. Have you heard anything down there in Dallas, like
Nope.
for market correction? I know Austin's seeing a correction, big correction. Their inventory has been sitting for like I heard upwards to 90 days or longer.
Well, the builders are overbuilt
Yeah,
because they were having all these buyers moving from other states down there, but it's not
yep,
happening at the same pace, and they keep building because they already contracted those jobs.
yep,
So maybe they're gonna sit on finished inventory during the winter months, and then for the spring they're gonna have plenty. Then they're gonna just get rid of it. So,
yes,
but no
yep,
correction.
yep. Milo, there's a lot of millennials that can't afford homes. There's one teacher, 20 years. This one is a teacher, 20 years, top of the salary guide, multiple degrees. I can't afford these outrageous asking prices. I listen, I feel your pain, Emilio, and maybe it's I don't know. Maybe you got to look outside, get outside. If you're looking here in Jersey, it's time to get outside of the area to find a more affordable place if that's what you desire.
Mhm.
Roy. Hey, Roy. Thanks for being here. I'm a CPA. Many clients retired to Florida, then moved to North Carolina and South Carolina few years later. Yes, because it's getting so darn expensive.
Insurance.
And the insurance.
Yep.
I don't even want to know now with this Hurricane Helene. Oh dear God, what is that going to do with the
Yep.
insurance? Oh, forget it.
Average deductible in Florida for a single family home right now for insurance, it's $12,000. That is deductible that you have to come out of pocket right now for a single family home. Yep.
Holy cow. That's oh my God. Yeah, I won't be moving to Florida.
Nope.
Taco Friday, one installment, 2024-25 property tax arrived. Why payment up? Seven property value down. Not really why payment is up. Seven. I'm not sure what you're asking there. I'm sorry. Is there another? Oh, the one right below it. Hold on. I got it. Um, why is the payment up, property value down? You know what? You got to check with your town. What happened in the town budget there? Was it an increase, for the services and school tax? I would check. I would contact your municipality or your town to find out what happened there. Um, I tell my clients not to buy anything they wouldn't want to live in for 10 years. Good advice. Good advice, Roy. Thank
Mhm.
you. Uh, what is the best site to look up home evaluation? Zillow estimate seems to be inflated. Is Redfin good with their estimates? You know what, Arun? I think they're all pretty much the same. You got to be really careful with that because Zillow's estimates, they're just they don't what I've noticed with Zillow, Robert, and tell me if you're seeing this, they don't look at the true local market. So like this house I'd listed recently, this estimate came up way higher than I'm sorry, it was lower. It was lower than what my numbers were at. And the reason being is that Zillow was looking at houses in other towns
Mhm.
and using that to calculate this estimate. And I'm like,
Yep.
why the heck is it go? Because when it looked on the map where this house is located, it was on the border of a couple of towns, and then we border New York State. So it was pulling data from even New York. I'm like, why? It's like,
Yep.
that's so dumb. So you cannot the only way to get a real estimate, a true estimate of your home, you have to speak to a local real estate agent. You do. And let them run the comps. They go through MLS. They can see even like houses that were sold off market. There's don't trust these online things because these Zillows and realtors, Redfins and all that stuff. That's been my experience. And I'm sure Robert, you've seen the same thing, right?
Yep.
Estimates.
It's
Yeah.
just a hook to get people to call them, and the values are never accurate. They
No.
don't take in consider. I mean, the algorithm is based on the square footage and when the year built and the model of the property, but it's
Yep.
never accurate. So if the house was built in the same time, but you did a $200,000 renovation, yeah, they don't take that into consideration. So
No.
it's just an algorithm. So just call a realtor, a nearby real estate agent, local agent,
Yep.
and ask them to give you a free CMA.
Yes. Frank says North Carolina is getting hammered with insurance on the coast as well. Oh, I'll bet. Now, next thing you know, Robert, everyone's going to be leaving North Carolina. because it's gonna be too expensive.
True.
Cracks kill. Thanks for being here. We're blessed in California and Oregon that our taxes increase are capped at 2 and 3% per year, respectively. Yeah, you are pretty lucky there. Sweet pea rally taxes went crazy. Now listings are getting close or lower than tax values in certain neighborhoods. Yeah, well, you're going to see this. The home values went up, and the towns are going to try and jump on that and increase your taxes based on the new values. So that's going to happen. Yep. Emilio, state law in Jersey says teachers have to live in Jersey. Look into Camden. The low income house are being flipped for $200,000. Yeah, listen, the further south you go in Jersey, it's still cheap, but watch it. Now investors got smart and they're going down there and they're taking advantage. MH, thanks for coming back. Colorado had something of a property tax cap. The politicians convinced the voters to remove it. Okay. I don't know how they pulled that one off, but what else we got? Someone was willing to buy my triplex for 700,000 when it was listed on Zillow for 400,000. I'm not surprised because how many triplexes are out for sale, So somebody's good. Inventory is low, but
Mhm.
special homes like that, multifamily homes, you don't see too many come on the market. So I'm not surprised. Not surprised at that at all. Natasha says Zillow doesn't know if your house is ugly or not. Yes.
Yep.
Yep. That is true. Oh, Poofy Puff, hi.
That's an interesting name.
I know, like your handle. All right. Hey Joe, thanks so much. I appreciate it. All right. So, hi Kate. It's always so good to see you, Kate. Thanks for being here. Let me see. I just want to bring up, we were talking about how the rates were going back up again. I totally went all over. I'm all over the place tonight.
That's fine.
So now bank rate today. This is bank rate. They're saying that rates remain elevated. Today's mortgage rate, September 30th. So today it's saying it's 6.22%. That's a 0.05 increase from last week. So here we go. 30-year mortgage rate moves higher to 0.05%. The average rate you'll pay for a 30-year fixed mortgage today is 6.22%, up 5 basis points since the same time last week. Last month on the 30th, the average rate was higher at 6.46%. So, yeah, if you're in the market, well, it says here 15-year mortgage retreats, they're down. 5/1 ARM falls to 0.2, and jumbo mortgages are up 1 basis point. So if you're in the market, definitely shop it out. You got to shop the rates out, and maybe you wait it out and see if they come back down again. But like as we said in the beginning, the Fed cut the rates, and everyone's thinking this is all good. The mortgage rates are coming down, and they really haven't done much, And they, as you just saw there, they're back up again by 5 basis points. So I think the economy has a lot to do with this. I think
Oh
the
yeah.
banks are still nervous. Um, all right. Dom says, came across my first home where the seller is willing to pay 1.5 commission, which would require me to pay my agent the additional 0.5% out of pocket. Is it worth asking to have the home lowered? Okay. What you can do, Dom, you can write in your offer asking the seller to pay that 0.5%. Since so obviously your agreement with your agent is 2%. So you can show your buyer agency agreement that you're supposed to pay 2%. You can write that in your offer asking him to pay that difference. That's how I would go about it.
Hmm.
Offer
Yep.
what you want to offer and ask them to pay that. But that has to be, so it's in the form of a concession, right, Robert? If that happens,
Yes,
if
it is a concession. Yeah, it cannot
yeah,
be. It cannot say payment or. I mean, the word commission should not be mentioned there. It's just a credit, either towards the buyer's closing costs, and then the buyer pays you the difference, or
right,
a credit directly to the other broker, and it's a concession.
you're right. Okay, thank you. Are mortgage rates ever coming down to below pre-pandemic levels? No. No. Nope. Not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. That was a once in a lifetime thing. Sydney says, question for buyers. Would a CMA overstate the value since it's what sellers ask for? Are you talking about so if a CMA so if an agent does a CMA for a seller and we're overstating so the seller's asking for a higher price? I'm not really do you understand what they're asking there, Robert?
No, for buyers, will the CMA
Overstate the
overstate the
value since
value
the
since
seller
is what the sellers?
No, I mean, the CMA is pulling comparables, is pulling we're pulling data off the multiple listing service of what's sold. And we'll even look at what's under contract too.
Mhm,
Like I even dive a little deeper. Like if I see homes that went under contract and they went under contract in like within a few days, I will call the agent, although they can't tell us how much it sold for, but I'll ask, did it go for way over asking or is it at ask or whatever? And I usually will get that information and we plug all that information in to come up with the price of the home. So when you're working with a real estate agent that's experienced, that knows how to do the comparable market, comparative market analysis, the price is the price, but sometimes the seller will insist they want to go start higher to
mhm.
see what happens. And sometimes that's a detriment because but your house is worth what a buyer is willing to pay. So it could sit on the market for a while and then you're going to end up seeing price reductions. So anyway,
Now, let me just add a comment to that one. If you think a house is overpriced and your agent can prove it by pulling comparables that
yes.
are in the area and you want to attach that to your offer to justify the price, which is probably most likely below what the seller is asking, yes, you can do that. It's totally fine. And then that's why you hire an agent to help you negotiate that price down.
Good point. Thank you, Robert.
Mhm.
Would you suggest getting a larger mortgage to fix up the fixer upper or get a mortgage with 90% down, take out another home improvement loan to fix it up? That's not really my wheelhouse with mortgages, but again, that's up to you and you need to discuss that with your lender and work out the numbers. What are those payments going to look like?
And
You know?
some fixer uppers are not going to qualify for conventional guidelines.
Yep.
So, which means you're going to have to go to some kind of like remodeling or a construction loan, 203K,
Yep.
which may change your payments and interest rate. So, you just ask your loan officer to give you quotes for both. But the condition of the property is what's going to dictate if the lender give you a traditional or a construction loan.
Thank you. East Coast port strike might impact the market next quarterly earnings. I'm buying. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. That's another thing. Now we got the port strikes going on. Like, oh my God, what else can go wrong? So, Kay, hi Kay. Zillow lists my home twice at two different estimates, and Redfin doesn't have any info about my home, so its estimate is way off. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Don't estimates. No, no good.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm, no bueno. I don't like it. Don't
Nope.
like
Nope.
them. 'Em. They're not good. Inna, do you think there is a correction coming for Northern PA, Pocono, Milford area? I don't know. I mean, I can't predict, but um here's the thing, what I'm seeing is there are a lot of people going out to Pennsylvania because Jersey's getting too expensive. So I think it's just gonna keep going west. Just going into Pennsylvania and buying up, homes there. But because it's still affordable compared to New Jersey. Correction, I don't know. I really I would think, especially here in New Jersey, I was hoping we would get some type of correction, but not with the city migration going on, so it's hard to say. It's hard to say about what could happen with Pennsylvania. Um, anyway, what else do we got? We have anything else here, Jen? Here we go. Here we go. Um, we had a lot of comments here. Oh my
Yeah.
god. Okay. All right. Am I in Michigan? No, I'm not. I'm in Jersey. Robert's near Washington, D.C. So yeah. Anyway, Okay, Juwan. All right. I bought first time with 6.357%. I am not sure if I should refinance or wait. I just bought a home mid-August. I was approved for this when the rates were 7 to 8% in July. I feel like I will be approved for 5.1%. Um, you just closed in August. I would not be refinancing yet.
Nope.
So,
Give
no,
yourself 6 months to a year.
yeah, wait it out. Definitely wait it out.
And honestly though, let's just insert something here because I'm
Sure.
hearing a lot from some people that I'm talking from loan officers. It's like people they're telling you buy now and refinance in 6 months because rates are gonna go down. Nobody knows, guys. Nobody really knows. So
Yep.
take that advice with a grain of salt and just come up with your own conclusion. But I can tell you that rates are not going to drastically go down in the next 6 months. Maybe they do one or two. And we just saw at the beginning, they did 50 basis points. And what happened? Interest rates went up. So it doesn't always mean it's going to go down. So just be careful with the kind of advice you receive out there.
Exactly. That whole line, Robert, marry the house and date the rate.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep. Be careful.
Be careful when
A
you
lot of
hear that.
divorces can happen.
Yep. Exactly. Oh, that was a good one. All right. Both here. Should I buy a 3-unit home, which will also be my primary residence if I'm looking at 90 to 100K mortgage? I have 40K to comfortably spend, but it's likely need 60,000 in repairs. Not immediately though. Um, Let me see, 40K to spend. I need 60K. I don't know. What do you think, Robert?
Buy a 3-unit home
So
with,
be a primary. So what my brain is going to, if it's a 3-unit home, you're going to live in one of the place units and you're going to rent out the other two,
yeah.
right?
That's a multifamily guide for
Yeah.
FHA guidelines that you qualify for that. In
Yep.
this case, he's putting 40K to live there and then 60 in repairs, not immediately. I mean, if they're all cosmetical repairs, probably you'll be fine. Any structural problems, yeah, your lender and the appraiser may have an issue with it.
Yeah. But also make sure you talk to your agent about getting what the rental comps are too. So
True.
if there's 2 units there, make sure that rental income is gonna be enough to help cover
Yes, they have.
most of the mortgage, if not all of it, but I would
Yep.
imagine most of it. That's what I would say to that. What are your thoughts on selling a house in New York State and purchase in Arizona? Why not?
Yeah.
I mean, if that's what you wanna do,
Yep.
then do it. Arizona market and Phoenix, like areas like Phoenix, I think I'm not sure about Tucson, but that th Arizona's softened a lot. They went through a big correction
Yeah.
last year, and I think they still are.
Hmm.
Um, I was just speaking to somebody the other day, my client's, mother who bought a house out in Arizona, and she got a really good deal on it, and she got a lot of extras thrown into the house too, so that tells you right there what their market is like, sellers just they wanna offload it. So, yeah, if you're looking for a deal, I wouldn't say deal, but you want a little more affordable, Arizona might be a good option. So, um, can you pay your agent less than federal wage if there's a tipping clause in your contract? Just kidding. Okay. Yeah, I knew you'd make that. You're welcome, Anna. Thanks so much. I'm like, what the heck? Okay, you got me. Thanks. All right. Hi, Jeff. What's going on? Just thank you. The video and audio is spot on. My my people. It's our people, right? From
She's a
our
pro,
video group.
Jeff. She's a pro. Look at the
Yeah,
studio now.
right?
Yep.
You guys can have this too. So,
Yeah.
um, Roy says that New Jersey teacher will be going west to Ohio before it's affordable. Yeah, probably. Probably. But hey Tanya, how are you? Thanks for being here. It's always good to see you. Appreciate it. Um, Rates will decrease because the Fed wants Harris to win. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, look, this happens no matter who's in office. They
Yeah.
play around with the market to show that, we're doing good things. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter who. Um, Rates likely won't go down until after the yield curve uninverts and returns to normal. That was a good statement. Thank you. Barry, assuming rates do go down and I buy now and refi later, what's the average refi cost? I see anywhere between 2 to 6% of the loan, which can be a huge swing. Yeah. What did you just say before? It was like what was the percentage, Robert?
Well, just on the transfer and recordation taxes in my area, it's about 1.3. That's
Yeah.
on top of what the settlement attorney is going to charge you to do all the paperwork. That's on top of what the lender is going to charge you, plus
Yeah.
origination fees. So bare minimum, you're looking at 2.5 to probably 4% if you're buying points and your lender is charging you a lot of
Mm.
things. So yeah, you're kind of like spot on.
Yep. Yep. Working with realtor, decide to build with local builder. Realtor had no experience at new build. Builder willing to pay realtor 5,000. Must I pay the realtor out of pocket? Well, if the builder is paying your realtor, then you shouldn't be having to pay anything, unless you have an agreement with your agent. So whatever your agreement says, so if that builder's only willing to pay 5 grand, and you agree to a percentage, say 2%, 2.5%, you might have to make up that difference.
Yeah, work
So
it out with your realtor.
exactly, work it out with them. So, yep. As the Fed cuts, it just adds inflationary duration risk and makes bond trades demand a higher discount yield to hold that debt. Yep. All right. What else? Great info. Have you ever experienced the housing market? It's just as cutthroat as New Jersey. Massachusetts, you're talking about Massachusetts, right? I think it is still pretty hot. We have a very good friend, who she's been on the show, Jen Sylvester. Jen's up in Massachusetts, and yeah, it's still pretty crazy up there. Not as crazy as here in Jersey. I don't know why, but it's it's yeah, but it is still hot up there. Most of the Northeast is, and
Mhm.
I don't get it. Can you ask your guest about Howard County, Maryland market forecast? Do you know anything about Howard County?
Yeah, it's right next to it. Yeah, I think Howard County, it's because of the big nice houses, great schools. I think that there will continue to be high demand for Howard County, especially for the schools. People are just going to move over there. So I can see prices continue to go up in that area, not towards the end of this year, next spring probably.
Yeah, that sounds like where I'm at in Bergen County, New Jersey. It's the
Mhm.
the schools, it's the school district that's why everybody wants to live
Yep.
here. I am based in central New Jersey, planning to upsize. Please advise, is it better to rent out my current house to generate monthly rental income or sell it to help cash flow my next house? Well, again, you got to look at your financials, talk to a lender to see if you can even do that too. You might not be able to qualify for if you
Mhm.
have to get another mortgage. So you need to speak with a lender about that. Um, but I mean, listen, if you can rent it out and get income from that, and if you can make enough to help pay the mortgage on your new house too, I mean, that's pretty freaking awesome. But you got to talk to a lender to see if you would even be able to qualify for that.
and
Um,
and keep in mind you can only use 70 or 80% of the rental as an income towards the purchase, so you cannot use the entire income, the rental income, towards the purchase of the next one for you to buy it. So check with your lender if you can do that or not, so that the way are not surprised. But if you have a low rate and you can come up with additional cash to buy the next one, do it. Good investment.
all right. How is the current hurricane going through states like Tennessee going to affect the housing market? God only knows.
Yep.
I mean, I can't even imagine what it's gonna be like to rebuild those towns. Like, did you see Asheville, North Carolina?
Yep, I saw it.
Washed away.
Hmm.
I can't even I can't. But, yeah, I don't know how that's gonna affect. It's be interesting. Hey, Donna, thanks for being here. With changes in commission, sounds like words matter even more now. For example, free or rebate instead of commission for offer. Agree? Yes. So, like you heard Robert say before, we have to be careful about saying commissions. Like, there's so many weird things that came out of this NAR settlement.
Hmm.
Ugh, drives me crazy. But yeah, Donna, you're right. We have to be careful in everything that we do now, how we're saying things. Yeah, like the big when you're saying free. So the thing when a lot of buyers would or buyer agents used to say, "Oh, my services are free." You're not supposed to say that.
Nope.
Can't say
Somebody
that.
was paying for it.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody
Yep.
is paying for that. You're not free. So, thanks for the question, Donna. Mimo, hi, how are you? I missed my original rate 6% from a price error on my contract from my lender. House was 229 and 229.9. She put 229. So with the rewrite, the rate was 6.25 less than 24 hours later. Okay. I see what you're saying. Wow. All right. So now, okay. So now you were paying 6.25 instead of the 6 because they screwed up on your loan amount. That's weird. Okay. All right. Tommy, why is a house market so bad? It's because there's no houses. There's not enough houses for sale. The inventory is just too darn low. Not enough
Mhm.
homes in this country to meet the demand, and that's why we're in the situation we are in. Kelly, hey Kelly, thanks for being here. Don't move to Oakland, California. It's basically 100,000 per square foot for anything decent. 400,000 for a little over 450 square feet. Oh my God. Wow.
Wow.
That's crazy. Hey, Kate, I just checked Zestimate and it gave the same number my real estate agent did. The house is in decent condition, not perfect condition. That's a shock.
Yeah, it is.
Kate, what did you do? How did you make that happen? That never happens. That's crazy. Oh my God. All right. I watched Southern Arizona closely, definitely softening after the boomers bought everything regardless of cost during COVID. Looks like it's slowly returning to more normal appreciation. So thank you, Roy, for that update. Um, what is a fair price to a real estate agent who will only need to facilitate the transfer between family members? I can't give you that number. You have to ask a real estate agent. They can charge you whatever the heck they want. So depending on what they're doing, if they're going to facilitate the transfer, I mean, honestly, if you're just transferring the property between family members, you might just need to get a lawyer for that. I don't think you really need to
Yep.
involve a real estate agent. So, um, she told me to continue and we'll refinance in 6 months. I closed November 22. It's September 24 and still have what's considered a good rate. And my lender still watches for me to refinance. Okay, good. Awesome. Learning so much, even though I'm living in Jamaica. Oh my God, we're reaching Jamaica. Awesome. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Sunny nights. We are shopping for a home in Charleston, South Carolina, and seeing many price reductions going on. Any thoughts as to why? Um, I don't know. Well, it could just be there could be a lot of inventory, right? There could
Mhm.
be a lot of inventory coming up and they want to they want to compete, so sellers are going to reduce their prices so they can sell their house before the next guy does. So
Yep.
that's probably what's happening there.
Mhm.
Which I'm a little surprised at that, but Charleston's expensive.
It is expensive.
Yeah. But I'm surprised. I thought that would still be a hot market, but Paula, hey Paula, thanks for being here. Last house, I had a hard time getting an agent to work with me because the price and commission was low. With new rules, can I set up a minimum amount where I would cover underage not paid by the seller? You probably could. Um, yeah, listen, that's part of negotiating with your real estate agent. When you're hiring somebody and you're having that meeting about what you're gonna pay or, what you're gonna pay, what they wanna get paid. I asked a question. Always ask the question, you never know. Roman, can you please compare townhomes versus single family homes? We sure can. So townhomes are attached, right? Or like semi-attached homes. And they're more for people who don't wanna deal with mowing a lawn, um, doing major upkeep on the outside of the house because townhomes usually fall under an HOA community, homeowners association. So you have to pay a monthly fee to the HOA, and they take care of all the landscaping on the outside. In some areas, like up here in Jersey, the exterior, like the roofs, are usually covered under the HOA. So if something goes wrong, they'll repair it. Whereas if you own a single family home, you're responsible for everything. right? You have to cut the lawn, you got to repair your own roof, you got to do like fix up things on the exterior. On a townhome though, everything on the interior, that's all up to you. Like you can make changes to whoever you want. Update your kitchen, whatever. But on the outside, pretty much a HOA takes care of that. Now, townhomes are considerably smaller in some cases. Not all, I've sold like a massive townhome a few years ago, um, but so people tend to like those because it's a little less to maintain, less upkeep. Do you have anything to add to that, Robert? To
No, you
just an image?
summarize it. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. A townhouse is less hectic of a maintenance,
Yep,
less area to maintain, but also you have an HOA that will dictate what you can and cannot do with your house.
correct.
And those
Yep,
fees are going to go up most likely every year with
yep.
no rhyme or reason.
Yeah, that's true.
Mhm.
Yes, and that's right. To add to that, you're saying HOAs have rules, so you can't do things on the outside of your house. So, like, they'll have restrictions on, if you can hang decorations, hang lights, even painting, or even change. If you want to change your front door, it has to be approved by the HOA. So that's the difference there. Dom. Within New York, there are a lot of naturally occurring retirement communities, areas with old people, always nice areas with limited inventory. In the long term, is it risky to buy in such areas? I don't think so. I don't think that's risky to buy. Like if you're naturally, so they're not like a set retirement community. It's just, older people are moving into those areas. I don't think so. I mean, the only thing is if you have a young family,
True.
and you're gonna be living in a neighborhood with elderly people, that may not be such a good fit if you have young kids, you know? You might wanna find a neighborhood where there's a lot of young kids around and, you can all the kids have somebody to play with. So, Cash, hey, Cash, how are you? My home is listed for sale in DFW, but not happy with my realtor, considering delisting it because of the holidays and list again in the spring when I can better vet a better realtor. Thoughts? Listen, if you're not happy with that relationship, that's totally, that's up to you. And if you're not getting what you need from them, you can absolutely cancel that contract and find somebody else. You have the right to do that. So, are you better off buying in a mixed age bracket neighborhood? It depends. Again, it depends if you have a family. You gotta look at your family dynamics, your own dynamics. If you find that, you're okay with that, if you have young children, you're in a mixed bag neighborhood, then, that's fine. Mixed age, whatever, then, that's up to you. It's up to you. And like, where do you see yourself? Do you wanna be in a young neighborhood with young families? Duan, is 15K closing cost sound reasonable? All from buyer's pocket for a $375,000 home. I was told seller didn't anything. I had to pay 3K to sellers since they paid taxes for the whole year. Yeah, 15,000 for 375? That's a lot. Don't you
Yeah,
think
it
it's a
is.
lot?
Yeah, it is a lot.
Yeah, that's quite a bit. But I understand you're saying you had to pay 3,000 to the sellers, so you had to pay the taxes that they paid for, but or didn't pay for, I should say. So whatever, so you had to pay 3K to that doesn't make sense to me. I don't know. Okay, sorry about that. Uh, isn't the private equity takeover also a reason for high prices? Yeah, in some markets, yeah, like in Atlanta and in the Sun Belt states, there was a big I would say takeover, but yeah, a lot of investors bought and turned those homes into rentals. But from what I've heard, like now there's like different opinions as far as a percentage of how many homes were bought by investors. Um, One guy, do you ever follow Ray? Is it Ray Allen? He's on YouTube.
Mhm.
Super smart guy. I heard him say that the percentage of investors that bought homes was very small. But then I've heard like 25, 30% um, of investors bought or investors bought 25 to 30% of homes in the United States. But I don't know. I don't know what that actual number is. I mean, have you heard anything, Robert? Like, have you gotten like a
Yeah, it's a number around there. A lot of these companies bought these properties to kind of like just keep them, but I think they're some of them are starting to come back on the market, especially in Florida. They all are coming back into the market for sale. And that's one of the many reasons in Florida prices are coming down, because all these private companies are releasing this inventory that who knows
Mm,
what's happening with this inventory, if it was occupied, vacant, who knows, but it's
right,
coming back on the market in certain areas and not everywhere.
right, right. Thank you for that. I'm worried about selling with the low inventory. I need to live somewhere. I know. That's ugh. Somebody just reached out to me today about that. Like, what do you do? I mean, there you have options. It is a little stressful. You know, I always tell people if you can buy the next place first before selling yours, if you know if you had the means to do it, that ideally that's like that would be the best scenario. But if you have to list your house, if you have to sell it, but you have to find another place to live, you can always put in um uh a contingency. I can't even think tonight, my God. You can put a contingency in there that your sale, is contingent on you finding another home. So, and this way the buyers are aware that you need another place to live. And but now you have to put time constraints on that. You can't let it go on forever, but you can do that as well. Have you had a lot of that lately, Robert, where people are selling it and needed to buy something else?
Not in this area though. Some of them already even have second homes, already own
Mm,
something, but not like necessarily need to buy something. Quite the opposite. The people that are selling right now, they're either
mhm.
moving with a relative, with parents, or just gonna rent for a little bit just to see what's gonna happen to the market. So very
Right.
interesting.
Yep. Okay, what else we got? Is a housing cooperative worth it or is a condo better overall? Co-ops co-ops can be very challenging. Oh, we lost Robert. Where'd you go? Um, I don't know what happened. We lost Robert. I'm sorry about that. Anyway, co-ops can be very challenging and I would if it was up to me, I would be going for a condo over a co-op, quite honestly. Because co-ops, you have to meet in front of a board, right? They have to interview you. It's a process. It is a process to get that to buy the house. Anyway, I'm so sorry. I'm just gonna pull this up here. I don't know what happened to Robert. Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. Anyway, is it better to wait for Fed rate cuts for buying a home or is best time now? Again, it's up to you. Whatever your financial situation is right now, if you're ready to do it, then do it. Um, some people are waiting. The feds are going to cut. They're probably going to cut rates again in Robert lost power. Oh, oh God, hope he's okay. Um, Anyway, a lot of people are gonna wait for the next round of rate cuts in December and then go into 25. There's gonna be more. Again, that's up to you. Completely up to you. Um, Careful, some townhome HOAs are subject to fraud. The one holding the money bag might be a thief. Listen, you're not wrong because oh my God, the stories I have been seeing. Jen, bear with me 1 second. I'm not a very good, I'm not prepared tonight. I appreciate everybody being here because I'm a hot mess tonight. I had technical issues, don't have Robert's stuff up here. So anyway, um, all right. Now there is bad storm. Okay, sorry, Robert. Anyway, we're gonna wrap it up anyway. So listen, you guys, thank you all for being here. If you are looking to buy a home down in the DC area, please check out Robert's channel. Let me pull you up right here. Um, Here we go. Robert Garcia, Capital Crest Group. Here's his channel. Please check him out. He's got great content. And if you're looking to move to that area, Maryland, Washington, D.C., he will absolutely take care of you. Don't have my website up, but I will tell you if you need to find an agent in the area you live, you're looking to sell or buy, if you go down in the description box in the bottom of this video, you'll see my website. Please click that link and fill out the form, and I will get back to you within 24 hours. And we can either have a conversation or email exchange, what have you, and I will get you connected with a real estate agent in your area. So I so appreciate everybody being here tonight. Thank you so much. And I'll be back next week for some more good stuff. So we will see you next time. Have a great night, everybody.